Real people.
And we want to show you firsthand what homelessness is like.
Real people. Real people. Real people. Real people. Real people.
It's real. When I walk the streets, when I talk, when I listen, it's still here. This world. A world sometimes that seems so confused because I see the haves and I see the have-nots, and I wonder why. And I believe once leaders and politicians start to hear us, listen to us, and understand reality, what's really going on, and face it, then we'll probably get to a better world.
Okay, I suffer from abuse physically, mentally, and spiritually. I had my stuff stolen from me 3 times by people who look just like me. They wait and see if they could take something from me when I'm at my weakest or when I'm at my lowest. And when I said about stuff about abuse, when I'm out here, people like to jump me, like to fight me, like to say anything to me. They don't want to respect you because they say you young and stuff. They do all this constantly day in and day night and day out. And I get food stamps, I get SSI, and I get Medicaid. I take medication. I suffer from mental illness. I got depression, schizophrenia, and bipolar. And they say they helping us, but they really ain't helping us. They say they looking out for us, but they really don't care about us. They come out here and preach the Jesus Christ to us, talk about he can help you get out of your situation, but when we go to these churches, they're not doing nothing to help you actually get out of your situations. And when you go to these places of help, they take forever, or they're not trying to really help you really get out of your situation whatsoever. But they get all this money from the government, and they take pictures when we go to any soup line, and they act like they doing something for us by feeding us and stuff, but they're really not doing nothing for us. And when they feed us, they're not really trying to feed us anything that's gonna sustain us. They feeding stuff like food that's gonna kill us or make us sick, and they want while we angry, upset, and everything else.
You never witnessed abuse.
The streets is abusive, man. Yeah, but see, it's more than drugs. It's more than alcohol. It's more than medication. It's more than what's another substance? Food. It's more than all that. Most of that stuff they designed purposely to mess with our minds. Do you agree or not agree with that?
I'm getting out of it the streets, living on the streets, street life,
Yeah.
homelessness, social issues in communities. It causes mental illness. It causes more problems.
Yeah.
It causes stress.
Yeah, and that concept about medication, they say that helps. Most of the medication is designed to make you crazy, literally. Medication itself is formed and designed, I forgot the word that my friend used, but it's designed to make you mentally crazy. And that's what most people don't know about medication.
Okay. I'm understanding that medication doesn't solve the problem.
Nah, it makes it worse.
And are they going to listen to us, or are they going to keep on doing things the way they've been doing them? I guess that's why we're here. We got questions and we want answers. Is anybody going to hear us? It's going to be the same old song.
Oh, it's our fault now. You can because something you did.
Enrico was saying something about the system, the way the system is designed. How do we come up against the system? Well, they probably don't want us to come up against the system. I think they want us to just be patient with them, but it's not about them.
Yeah.
Power is about control.
It's about control. It's about wanting us to conform to our minds to be put in a box. They don't want you to. Back then, when you teach your children to read, you was children to think and expand their mind. Now they saying that they want your mind to be conformed, that not to be creative.
They got us having food stamps, with Medicaid, Medicare. They didn't offer us a system with free phones. You get all this free stuff we poor, but I believe there's a manipulation into it, because the foremost is if you still on the government getting government assistance, then you get another job. Then the government now they done helped you enough, then they'll cut you off. You get a certain amount of money. They don't want to give you enough money. It's been since 2010. The minimum wage still $7.25. We still getting $7.25, and nowadays $300 a week. That's $400. That's $300 a week. Our household can't feed nowadays on the $400 a week. But the system messed up. Y'all got gas prices high. Every time you light bill, y'all raise the light bill up. Every time if you go to the store, you can't buy a pack of soda without costing $2. You cannot spend. You know, raise the prices on cigarettes. Then you manipulate. We manipulate the system by buying these cell phone tabs. Then we getting all these other stuff that y'all allow us to be more lazy than ever. We don't create with our hands anymore. We depend on you too much. Y'all want to surrender to it. The United States is coming like China. The worst thing is you will have is somebody dreaming in somebody else's hand. That is crazy. It's crazy.
And the system is the one that's causing all this. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, as a little kid, I was taught to get an education, get a job, apply for college, and try to get a house or whatever, and start a family. But you can't do none of that by yourself or whatnot. And even if you do get a job, like let's say you get what's the highest paying job you can possibly get as an African American?
You get all of them. The thing about it is you wide receiver for the NFL.
Yeah. Even they'll take the taxes alone. The taxes alone will bring you. They'll take all the money from you. Yeah.
The system like he might say y'all might not understand what he's saying, but basically, but when you are African American, you're a target of so many people lying to you, want them to be their slave. Yeah. Like back in the days when the Roman masters used to have the Olympics and whatever, they threw the guy in the ring and wrestled a bull. And what we do is get the toughest guy in the room and wrestle the board. And that's the only thing we're going through now is not a black man in Matador. You got the black man, he running for his life back there, and he getting $40 million a year, but you don't even know that he getting Nike to be his soldier. He got to work on conditions. He almost got to kill himself to make this $100 million. But you'll never see it versus other people, because the person is on. If you didn't have a system with you, now you don't see the same target as if you're a white quarterback such as Andrew Luck could have did the same thing as the Ravens quarterback, a black man and white man. It's just you don't see the same type of, you don't see the Gatorade commercials, you don't see all these things because they use us to be slaves. We making all this money for people. You got a black wrestler, girl wrestler making money for the WWE, but the system caught up just being so off hype. It's all off hype. Then all the conversions, now the system also, y'all using us for the money, but the thing is, we still got to face, in Atlanta today, I face rejection, I was called a nigger. We still face racism. We still facing democracy. We still facing harassment on the workforce places, but not even because of the system line of the people can always can hire who they want, but they can talk to you when they want and pay you when they want, and the system all line up about money. Love of money is really about it. And it messed up. And it's messed up because no one's listening. Everybody still going by back in our days. We still want to vote, but we don't. Why do the senator stuff they supposed to pass? The system not manipulating us. We depend on the president so much that the states run up by the senator and the Congress. The congressmen never tell the laws they got up when the operator open up until the time of the voting. And the system's so messed up that y'all give us 30 seconds to show the dog man out and not even tell what they running for and what they standing for. We don't know them because we manipulated by you. Y'all manipulate us too long. You right, man. Y'all manipulate us.
I want to say, I want to say something else. The system about vote, but what you said about voting, the votes themselves are what's what I'm trying to look for. The votes are manipulated by themselves. Yeah, they tell you that our votes count. Now they make it easier for us to enroll in their war, to fight their battles. Yeah.
So you saying war is another thing. We talked about that before. War, how we taking so much money and we giving it away.
Yeah. Yeah, but when they come to us first.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
they
like
come to us
saying,
first.
They're paying war for war, yet we are still not a civilized country.
We're still not a civilized country,
and
but we paying for war.
And they make us fight their battles.
We got to fight their battles.
Yeah, and we won every last one of their battles.
If this, why y'all love us so much? If y'all love us so much, why y'all just put the Mexicans, and a lot of Mexicans, if they want to come over here, let them be soldiers for 2 years. But you still, you manipulate the system that the people who born in America got to go suffer through all this. You got 10 million, nearly 10 million Mexicans coming here a year. Why? If y'all refuse, we got a war. We got war going on. Why y'all don't take these people that's Mexicans instead of locking them up and send them at war as prisoners of war? They do the same thing for other countries. Why we got to swap? We swapped prisoners of wars the other day. Swap that many prisoners of wars. Why we got you lock up the Mexicans that's over here? Yeah, you fight people that been over here that got tax fraud, been in jail 2 years. Y'all got people, y'all lock them up overseas. Well, y'all lock up these Mexicans here illegally. They doing the highest crime rate. They commit the murders. They commit all the rapes. They commit all this fraud. They commit all these hate crimes. They commit all the gang violence. Yet y'all, we do not talk about the Mexicans far enough, and you still dogging our own people. The true people, we not liberty to have the right to say because y'all don't listen. The only person y'all listen to people that got money. That's in power. That's crazy. Start sending our people to war that don't got. Hey, if they got to be on the front line. We're not happy here. We're not such as happy here in the United States. If the Mexicans want to fight, they come over to the United States. Tell the Mexicans fight the war for it. Period.
So we won all they wars. Every that happened in this country. Huh?
You lost a lot of war.
Yeah, but we won the majority of them.
You lost 3 of them. You lost the last one.
Yeah, it sounds like
hey,
that we're taking on too much, the United States. It sounds like we doing too much.
Yeah.
We need to, slow down and have our thoughts clear
Tell them
and
we want that.
understand what's more important.
We lost Vietnam.
Yeah.
Because if we do too much, we're not really organized. That's what I'm getting out of it. We're not really seeing things the way they are supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're doing too much. We go into other countries and we taking care of all these other people.
Yeah.
It's too much of a responsibility because we are neglecting our own. That's what I'm understanding.
You don't see too many other races in the soup lines like in the homeless soup lines like you see us. Like you don't see the Russians, the Chinese, maybe a few Mexicans. I ain't gonna say yeah. The majority of other races in the soup lines like you see the majority of us.
Okay, so what you're saying is the majority of people in the soup lines are African Americans or people of color.
Yeah.
That's what we
A lot of people is one paycheck away from being on these streets. And we looking at a time now where, to even afford a 2-bedroom apartment here in Atlanta, you have to at least make $24 an hour and work at least 190 hours a week
When
to even
minimum
afford a 2-bedroom house, a rental.
Minimum wages is still at the lowest it's ever been. $7, yes. And we're expected to survive on this, huh?
Yes.
So that everybody's situation is totally different. Nobody can say, what? You understand? How? What brought you here? So I don't want, by showing this, we don't want you to look down upon us. We want you to see it for what it really is. For what it really is. The real level of what it is. Yes.
It's the harsh reality.
It's a harsh reality. As you can see, it doesn't just affect the black people, it affects every walk of life. Every people of every walk of different walks of life. Yes. So it's a lot of people want to turn their back and ignore it. But like this man said, you're one step away from being there yourself. One paycheck away.
Totally wiped out the middle class. And the politicians are disconnected from the streets. That's the problem.
All these years they said, vote the black slave. What is the black slave? Who is the black slave? I mean, back in the days they used to, John Lewis, Marvin Harrison, Abernathy, Kings, huh? What have they done? What have they done? If you think it's not a recession and people are not being influenced, King has sold his daddy's soul. Huh? What do you think about that, huh? They sold their daddy's Bible. Is anything sacred?
Yeah, I wouldn't sell no Bible.
Huh? Is anything sacred? Huh?
It's a price tag on everything. Everything we do is a price tag.
So it's not just the homeless. When
It's a
you have
price tag.
people that you put in power and you gave them leadership and they don't lead, they become puppets themselves. You understand? How can you expect the middleman, the lower class, to survive when they can't? You have people like what's the lady name? Miss Willis?
Yeah.
I mean, she was elected to do a certain job, and now they're they handicapping her, taking her power. And what can we do, huh? What can we do?
What we can do is come together and strategize and form teams. It's time for us to do it. We sitting back crying, we sitting back waiting. These people are not our saviors. We don't have no savior. We have to save us.
So
Because what the messaging in the campaigns, it's not about us. That's the problem. But they say, hey, vote blue no matter what. Okay, let's do a minimum wage increase. Let's start with that. Let's start with the basics. Let's put a cap on these rents. Let's put a cap on these rents. Let's start with the basics. Let's go to the basic things. You know what I'm saying? You know, we so stressed out, and to the point to where now it's a lot of hostility. Everybody is fighting. Everybody is jockeying for space in America. And if you go back and you look, all the immigrants coming to this country, that's another class. That's another competition.
more benefits than you did.
More benefits. They sneaking them in here. You should go down to immigration in the morning.
Are they building the wall or are they opening the gate?
They opening the gates.
Are they opening the gates or are they building the wall?
They opening the gates.
Somebody's being deceitful, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody's really being deceitful.
To keep it real, you know what I'm saying? You know, I understand that you're politicians. I understand it. But you're power brokers. You're power brokers, and your only interest is to take care of your families. Hey, we understand that. But see, we did not tell you to become a congressman. We did not tell you to become a senator. We did not tell you to become a state representative. We did not tell you to become a state senator. You took the initiative to do that. So now, you get there, oh, well, I don't know. No, we tired. There's no excuses. You say you got an education, college education, okay? So you got to be intelligent, so spare us. There is no excuse that you can bring. These streets gonna always be here. The streets outlast you. They're gonna always be here. This is where all the economy comes from, the streets. This is where all the spending take place, on the streets.
More money is generated from the homeless population than from any other sector of society.
Yeah.
Yes. Homeless people spend more useless money on wasteless stuff than any sector else. And it is geared to take their money. The little money that we do generate.
You know, when Jesus went around,
Let's take a trip back in time. Let's take a trip back. Atlanta had two Black Wall Streets. You had Auburn Avenue, you had Hunter Street. So Atlanta had many Black Wall Streets, okay? You had the Red Summer of 1925, from 1912 on up to 1925, mob violence. They were killing us, they was looting, they were burning. We talking about Black Wall Streets. See, there's more than one Black Wall Street. They say, oh, Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was more Black Wall Streets in America at the time. Just imagine, when slavery ended from 1865 to 1872, the backbone of the power of the Ku Klux Klan were broken. They reconstructed right here in Atlanta, Georgia in 1912. They revised the Constitution and laws of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and they called that shot to loot, burn, kill, and destroy all the Black Wall Streets. That was our economic power. So imagine this, from 1872 up to 1912 to 1913, we had an economic stronghold in all these cities. So we had control of the political machine.
Don't forget Gainesville.
Yeah, we had control of the political machine. So now what happened? Destroy the economic machine, you'll take over the politics, because they realize, hold up, they get ready to take over. So the first housing project was built right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Oglethorpe Homes, right over there across from Clark Atlanta University. Okay, who was in them homes first? Who was in that public housing first? Who was in them projects first? They were white families. They did not break them white families up. The men stayed with their children and their wives or girlfriends or whoever it may be. They stayed in them public housing, they built, and they moved out into the suburbs. So let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. You saying, oh, pull yourself up from your own bootstrap. Okay, let's talk about bootstraps. Let's go back to the Reconstruction, when the South was ravaged and pillaged and burnt by Grant. What did they do? Sign the 14th Amendment into law, you have representation in Washington. If not, you're done. They ain't had no land, they didn't have nothing. They were burnt out, no business, no nothing. Most of the men had got killed in the Civil War. What happened? The federal government, they signed 14th Amendment into law, they went into Washington, they made their policies. Okay, we're going first step policies. No niggas will be no citizens in our state, point blank. No voting, none of that. So now, you want to hear this? The government, federal government gave the South money. They redistribute the money back to them.
40 acres in the middle.
And they got 140 acres
40 acres in the
given to them. Given to them. 170, excuse me, given to them. So don't sit there and try to make it look like we don't want to work. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. No, y'all did not pull yourself from y'all bootstraps. You took federal money, the South did. You rebuilt the South and you redistributed the wealth back to y'all. So you destroyed Black Wall Street. You put white people in the projects, families in the project, men, women, and children. You didn't break up the family and say, okay, no men in the household. So when you destroy the family, you destroy the whole entire class and race of people.
So what do they do after they misrepresented the people, mistreated the people? They came and said, well, we're going to give y'all some new laws. But my question is, why do they have to keep stepping in, getting in it, giving us what they want us to have when you took what we had, you destroyed what we had, but you want to rule and tell us what we can have? So are we really getting anything?
No.
That's my question. Look, how many times are y'all going to step up to the plate and say, well, we're going to amend laws, or we're going to make new laws, or we're going to come up with new policies? But hold on. You destroyed everything. You took everything, or just about everything. You manipulated just about everything, but you still in control, and you still got the power telling us what you want us to have. So it doesn't even sound like, to me it sounds contradicting. What do you think about that? I really don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit confused.
The Indian said it best. He said, white man, you talk with forked tongue. Meaning.
He said, the Indian said what?
White man, you talk with forked tongue. Meaning that the English language itself, every word has a different meaning. It has synonyms, words that sound alike, but means a different thing, has a different meaning. And he has used his language to contradict everything that he said. Everything that he said has been contradicted from the beginning, from the amending laws to everything. Everything has been changed. The Indian said it best. You talk with forked tongue.
Forked tongue.
Forked tongue, F-O-R-K?
Yeah, forked tongue.
Yeah.
Said like a serpent tongue.
Like a serpent tongue.
See,
exactly.
if you go back and you look, see, history, it's a reflection of today, because history and today are the same. They tell us, well, we got dwelled in the past, we got to move forward. Let me tell you what moving forward is. If you go back and you look at President Andrew Johnson, President Andrew Johnson was a Democrat. He was the vice president with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Now, Andrew Johnson was from Tennessee. He was a planter. Now, it's crazy how they don't teach us this in school. And this was considered landmark history that changed the course of this country into the Reconstruction. When slavery ended, okay, Congress says, hey, let's do this Civil Rights Act of 1866. Signed into law President Andrew Johnson. President Andrew Johnson say, hell no, I'm not gonna do it. Because what it would do, it'll put them in a position over us, the Negroes. No, I am not gonna do it. What he did, he vetoed. He ended up getting impeached. But this is what he did. He gave the South the blueprint on black codes and black laws, which they call Jim Crow and Jim Crow laws. Mississippi in 1865 legislated the first black codes, which is the Mississippi codes. And in there they had the Vagrancy Act. In the Vagrancy Act, police just based upon suspicion can arrest me based upon suspicion alone. You didn't need probable cause. There was no cause needed. And they can assume that we are a criminal already. It's called vagrancy and vagabond laws. That's what they used. So they were using these laws, they were pushing these laws, and majority of their policy were based upon black code policy. Those laws still exist today, just like the slave code laws still exist today, because I did my research into slave codes. So I do know the laws. I researched the laws of the Reconstruction, and when I went back into the Reconstruction, I said to myself, hold up, these laws still exist. Slaves cannot have no firearms. You could not stay here unless you had to pay to live here. And felonies, do you know, here in the state of Georgia, felonies stay on your record for 70 years after a disposition. And what I mean by disposition, at the closing of a case. Misdemeanors stay on your record for 10 years after the disposition of a case. So we're looking at felony for 70 years? That's cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. And the police got too much power. Now, with that combined with all these economic problems we have, you're gonna have these results. You're gonna have a lot of guys with felonies on their records. You're gonna have a lot of people that is being pulled over constantly, traffic stops, money. It's all about money. When it boils down to it, it's all about money. It's all about money. Look at Atlanta. Atlanta changed. I left and I came back. And I've been gone away from here for 20 years. Over 20 years I've been gone from Atlanta. I get back. This is a different Atlanta I seen when I was here. This is not the same Atlanta it was when I was here. So I see the falling of the empire, so to speak. Most of these corporate buildings are empty.
Yeah, I don't want us to be caught up in being the way they are. If someone discriminates against you, we still be biased. But the thing about it is, the struggle, the economy is just messed up. Atlanta, United States need to fall back. Look how many people there really are in America. It's more than 360 million. It's more than 360 million Americans here. Y'all look at the money, y'all. We don't pay enough people. We got all these grants, but yet all these people still with joblessness. Yeah. The joblessness is took far ground. The Social Security people, it's too much fraud going on. Ain't no love, ain't no peace. United States is United States of America, or it's a user. Instead of user, it's user.
It seems like they covering up history. And they're saying, just move on, forget about it. And take what we give you.
Look at that gold dome, over there, that gold dome.
Exactly.
Go to that Capitol over there. See how many representatives there. That tell you everything.
I think it's not so. Very much so.
That tell you everything. They got the numbers and voted. We have to wake up and stop looking at everything from an emotional standpoint and start going, researching, and looking at bills that have been signed into law. Trump signed bills into law that benefit us, but we sit there and we say, oh, man, yeah, he did it, but what do you want? You want somebody gonna give you something for your vote, or you want to give somebody your vote and get nothing? I'm confused, and I'm getting pissed. Now, let's talk about Kamala Harris. She come in here, Megan Thee Stallion, on the stage twerking. Man, we don't want to see no twerking. That's an insult to us. Basically, what you telling everyone, I throw her on stage. You might well put a strip pole on the stage. You came out there saying, hey, get them niggas some fried chicken and some watermelon. You just came out there saying that. Come on, man, stop it.
So I think the answer is that the people that are supposed to be representing the people and working so that we can get to a better world, they need to stop faking it. They need to be more real with the real people. And understand, we cannot cover up history.
can't.
We cannot cover up the hurt feelings. We can't cover up the neglect. We can't cover up poverty. We can't cover up homelessness.
Nope.
We have to get down to the basics.
Yes.
We cannot cover up discrimination. We can't cover up racism. We cannot keep saying, well, we got new laws now, or you need to follow these laws that'll help, but you're still not facing reality of what you did and how it affected the people today.
Yeah.
My grandmother
Okay.
used to say, I can't see it from my bedroom.
I can't see it from my bedroom.
And you can't see it from the gold building up there neither.
Nope.
You can't see it from the gold building up there either, but
Yes.
they have substituted formality and capitalism and prosperity for humanity.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. See, we should learn by now. Politics is done. We stop. Business. We need to go back to basics. Go back to business. We need to open up businesses. We need to do business. Politics thrive on business. When you have dollars, now you control the politicians. They've been telling us this for years, for decades, and we don't get it. So the lobbyists, they write the laws. And these people don't, that's why they don't know what's in the laws. You know, they get these laws from the lobbyists. Lobbyists write the bills. They put the bills on the docket to go into the committee to be voted for. That's how it works. So Black Wall Street needs to make a revival. That's what needs to make a revival. We need an economic base. Screw the political base right now because it's not helping. We sitting back waiting for politicians to give us an answer, to get the answer from them. We'll be waiting. There'll be a cold day in hell.
We've been taught to hate each other.
Yeah.
We've been bred to hate each other.
We've been doing it for a long time.
And it's like you say, it's no good getting politics in there because they only hate you more. Give them money and a political office, a title, they hate you even more.
Yeah.
You become less inferior, less important. That's something they've been teaching black folks for the longest.
Yeah.
It goes back to the Willie Lynch, to the Jim Crow area. It goes all the way back.
See,
So,
yeah.
yes, it's not politics anymore.
It's not.
It's
So
not.
the blame lies with us too.
It lies, exactly. We have responsibility.
Yeah, we
too.
have responsibility
Of
too.
course.
You know, school is just a guide to learning. The real education comes from the home.
Exactly.
You have to spend time with your child with their lesson. So I ain't trying to make it look like that I hate white people because I don't. It's just that we got to start telling the truth. Truth has no friends. Truth cares not how you feel. Truth stands alone. Truth. That's what it is. Truth is not pretty. Truth is not for you to feel good about yourself all the time. Truth gonna tell you what it is. Truth is not going to hold back on anything. So we have to be truthful with ourselves. Pains, joy. It's like Frankie Beverly, joy and pain. That's what it is. So, you know, they look at us, oh, well, y'all making all these excuses, y'all steady crying. I tell you what, we gonna see, because them opportunity zones and people, we need to go and look at those opportunity zones. Go into your internet, pull it up, and look at it. And you gonna tell me what we could do from there. Because it looks like we could do plenty from there. See, right now, internationally, international trade is being affected because you got China, Russia, Brazil, you got BRICS. So they forming a whole global order. This order here is the same old stale order. War. War. You sending billions of dollars over to another place that hate the hell out of us. Man, Ukraine, they do not like black folks. Ukrainians, they call you nigger in a minute. Now, Israel getting all this money. We don't have no money here. You want to cry broke with us, but yet you sending money over there. So We Americans, we stupid, we dumb. That's what it is. We dumb, we stupid. You know, y'all can do whatever y'all want. But I tell you what, all them people, all them congressmen who voted to send that money over there, they should get their ass voted out of office. Because guess what? Money. Look at the infrastructure of America. And that's where the money needs to go, to the infrastructure. Infrastructure create jobs. You redo these highways, redo these streets, that create jobs. You got to hire people. So money circulates. When money do not circulate, then you're gonna have poor conditions such as this. American infrastructure is crumbling. There's plenty of money, plenty of work. They could put whole America to work on every street, every road, every avenue, every highway, every expressway. That's what they did in 1975. I remember when they were building on I-75. I'm from Ohio. We used to come down here from Ohio to Georgia. We took 77 down here. They were building on 75. People were getting money. You got to create jobs in order for people to have jobs. And when people have jobs, they could create jobs. It's a cycle. But if you don't, then what are we doing here? What are we doing? The empire falling. That's exactly what it is. We need some people with some brains in the White House and in Congress. We don't have any right now. We got a bunch of dumb-ass people sitting in them seats, don't know nothing. They disconnected from the working class people. And keep thinking America gonna be this way. Keep taking it for granted. You're gonna see people gonna be in an uproar. People gonna get tired eventually of this. Especially the young generation. If y'all love y'all children like you say you do, you need to look at everything carefully and stop voting because of somebody's color of their skin.
Seattle, your boy that made the Apple computer was your boy Bill Gates. Gates gave $1 billion to NAACP. Ain't that many people hate black people? These black people hate themselves.
But I think that, seriously, without the support from one another, that this world is going to continue to be the way it is. You got still the haves and the have-nots. The haves trying to keep what they got. And then, I mean, they might donate to some of the organizations to kind of like help the people that are in poverty or homeless or struggling, we call it. But for some reason, it's not even working. Something's not even right, because people still living out on the streets, and people still living in poverty. People still unemployed. I'm serious. Something ain't right with the picture. We got all of these people donating and giving money and stuff, and you still have it like this.
Now I know it's a lot of stuff going on. But wrong with America is that we're lazy. We scared to tell the truth because we so justified. We still justified for the 1950 laws. We still ain't justified for the 2000 laws. We still want to get over on people. We still want stuff for free. Then it ain't gonna work. True love. You know what hate? We need to hate. We need to hate our weaknesses. You don't hate people. That's what we do. We sit down and want somebody to come feed us coffee and give us stuff instead of God gave us. We forgot about it though. You saw our hands? We forget about this thing. We dummies. We dumb. America, free or you dumb. You're free to be dumb here.
God gave us talent. He gave us talent. We supposed to use our mind and our brain to use our talent to overcome any obstacle. That's what our ancestors did. Who you think built the stoplights and everything? They did that because they had God gave them the talent, and they gave them the wisdom, and they used their hands or their minds to build stuff, to create stuff. And that's what we don't think as individuals anymore.
When I think of freedom and when I think of justice, I think about livelihood. How I used to live, what I used to do, what I had, but now how I got over, how I climbed the mountains, the hills, how I strived, and I remember. I remember those days when I asked why.